Okay, so it has been brought to my attention that my video cut off in the lesson video, and this problem you didn't get to actually see. You saw the end of it, but you didn't really get to see the whole problem. So let me go ahead and work this problem. We've got that our A in this case, remember this is our quadratic formula. Remember it always has to be equal to 0, otherwise you can't assign your A, B, and C. So our A is 4, our B is -5. Always carry the sign to the left of the number, and our C is -3. So A is 4, B is -5, and C is -3. All right, so we're going to use the quadratic formula. And this time we're solving for y. It doesn't really matter if it's x or y, but in this case we're using y as our variable. So we've got -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So we would have, let's see here, -b. Now notice we have a negative right here, but we also have a negative right here, so that means we have a double negative. So what this means whenever I say -b, I mean the opposite of b. So the opposite of -5 is +5. Plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. All right, so let's simplify some, okay? So we've got 5 plus or minus the square root of 25, let's see here, on my calculator I'm going to type in 4 times -3, and I get -48, so negative or minus -48. Notice there's a double negative there, and so I get 5 plus or minus the square root of 73 all over 8. Now, your exact answers include radicals, okay? So if I say I want the exact answer, I would have an answer of y is equal to 5 plus the square root of 73 over 8 and 5 minus the square root of 73 over 8. However, we don't always want that, okay? Sometimes we want the decimal approximation. So on your calculator, you need to do the square root of 73. Now on many calculators, if you're using a Texas Instruments calculator, the square root button is typically above the x squared button. And so you would hit the second and then the x squared button and then type in 73 and hit enter, and you get this decimal right here. 8.544003745 over 8. Okay? And then we also have the other answer of 5 minus that same decimal. Now, notice I'm not rounding. I didn't round this number because it tends to lead to rounding errors, okay? So what I want to do is I want to keep this number long and then I round at the very end. Now, the next thing that I want to do is I want to find my decimal representation here. Now, if you want to type in the whole thing all at once, that's great, but you would need to use parentheses around your numerator. Otherwise, it will only divide this number by 8. It will not do the 5 plus and the 5 minus. It'll do that last because of order of operations, okay? So make sure that if you type the whole thing in, you use parentheses. So what I do, though, is I type in my numerator, I hit enter, and then I hit divide by 8. So I would type in 5 plus 8.544003745, hit enter, and then hit divide by 8. And I get, I'm going to go ahead and round here because we're at the final answer, 1.69. And then on the other one, I just go up and I'm going to grab what I originally typed. I hit the up arrow until I hit that, and then I hit enter. And then I'm going to change that plus to a minus. And then I hit enter, and then I hit divide by 8, and I get negative 0.44. And then I'm going to change that to squiggly equal signs because those are approximate answers because we rounded. All right? Okay. Sorry about it cutting off in the other video. I hope this helps.